Alright guys, so today we're going to go through part of our study guide in order to make sure that you guys are ready for your test, whether your test is on Thursday or on Friday. Alright, so first thing we talked about was the axis of symmetry and the vertex of any quadratic equation. So what I did here is I actually went through and I used Desmos in order to graph the equations that were given. So the first one was y equals negative x squared plus 10x minus 28. You can see in this window here that that's what I did type in. And I looked at the graph and I found that vertex, okay? This vertex we know is a maximum and it's at the point 5, 3 or 5, negative 3. Okay, and the axis of symmetry is very easy because we know that the axis of symmetry is always x equals, and it's the x value of the vertex. In our case, x equals 5. Okay, if I do ask you, is this a maximum or a minimum? We know it's a maximum because it's at the top of the graph. All right, same thing in number 3 here, y equals x squared minus 9. I graphed the equation. I can take a look here and I can see my minimum value, my vertex at the point 0, negative 9. And then the axis of symmetry again is x equals our x value here of 0. And in our case, this vertex is a minimum because it's at the bottom of our graph. Okay, so that's very simple, axis of symmetry and vertex. The next thing that we went into was our graphing our quadratic equations, and this is a type of problem that you can expect on the written part of your test. Okay, now again, you can use Desmos to do a lot of this work, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did with it. So we have y equals x squared minus 8x plus 15. I want you to fill out the table, the vertex in the middle. I want you to graph those 7 points, and then tell me where the axis of symmetry is, the vertex, domain, range, and the zeros. Okay, so if we take a look here, I graphed this equation. So I'm going to slide this up here so that we can see it. So I graphed the equation, x squared minus 8x plus 15. You can see the graph. And then what I did is I used the table function by hitting the gear, hitting table, and then I put in the vertex. I clicked on the vertex here in order to find what it is. I found it was at 4, negative 1. So I put that in the middle, and then I added in all of my other x values. Okay, so right away I can put in those values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And they have y values of 8, 3, 0, negative 1, and then those repeat 0, 3, and 8. The vertex we already know at 4, negative 1, and the axis of symmetry we know is x equals 4. The domain, we should all know what that is. That's all real numbers, okay, or all reals, any way that you want to write it. The range is the y values, okay, because this graph is going up, we know our range is y is greater than or equal to, and it's always greater than or equal to the y value of the vertex. In our case, y is greater than or equal to negative 1. So I'm going to plot these points. I have the point 1, 8, I have the point 2, 3, 3, 6, or 3, 0, sorry, 3, 0, 4, negative 1, 5, 0, 6, 3, and 7, 8. Okay, so I have those points, and then I can graph my curve accordingly. All right, and then the zeros are very easy because it's where the graph crosses the x-axis. In our case, that's right here and right here. Okay, that's when x is equal to 3 and when x is equal to 5. So we put x is equal to, and then in our curly braces, we can put 3 and 5. Okay, so I can do the same thing here. I'm going to get rid of these real quick. Okay, Get rid of those. We can do the same thing with number 6. Okay, number 6, we have y is equal to negative 2x squared minus 3. So I typed in negative 2x squared minus 3 into Desmos. I graphed it. I used my table function and then I filled in where my vertex was, which is at 0, negative 3, right in the middle. So I can put in my table, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, because the vertex is in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and then my y values, negative 21, negative 11, negative 5, negative 3, and then they repeat. Negative 5, negative 11, negative 21. Now obviously I can't graph all of these points. I can actually only graph 3 of them. The fifth ones, or the 4th and the 5th, are close but not exact. So I have the point 0, negative 3, negative 1, negative 5, 1, negative 5, and then negative 2, negative 11, and 2, negative 11. Okay, so I can graph those 5 points in order to see how my graph is going to look. And then we can fill in our axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry, x equals 0. Vertex at 0, negative 3. Domain we know is all reals. And range y is less than or equal to, because it's going down, and it's less than or equal to negative 3. And I gotta move this guy out of the way. And then our zeros, you can see this graph actually never crosses the x-axis here. It never crosses it. So we put x is equal to, and we put our no solution symbol. Okay? So there's the first part of our study guide. So take a look at that, and then let's take a look at the second part of the study guide here in a moment.